Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This life shit is actually pretty insane, right? Not too long ago, I was really just sitting here and thinking to myself, like, yo, bro, how the fuck did I even get here? Like, actually, does anybody ever sit down and really ask themselves that question? Like, how did we get here in the first place, bro? What the fuck is going on? Right? And, I just hit 25, right? And to me, it's like, how did I even get to this point? How have I already been here for 25 years? Like, I can't even think 10 years back. Like, being 15, it seems damn near non-existent. Like, don't get me wrong, I still remember being 15, but at the same time, a lot of it is so vague, it's so blurry, it's almost as if it never existed. You know what I mean? Most of the people that I knew back then, I don't really know right now. So it's as if that time period wasn't even here. It's all kind of vague. It's almost as if it was a dream. And technically it was a dream, right? Because that me doesn't exist anymore. Me at 15 does not exist. Like, every cell that made up my body at 15 has all disappeared. And I think there's a study on that too. Like, I think it has something to. The study goes something like, after every 7 years, I think every single cell in your body gets replaced by newer cells. So every cell that made up my being 10 years ago is non-existent anymore. I'm not the same person that I was at 15. So I'm just like, bro, who the fuck am I? Right? Because don't get me wrong, there's still qualities about myself that exist right now that existed when I was 15. But like, they're so far and few in between. I'm no longer the same person. I wouldn't hang out with 15-year-old me right now. Not gonna lie. Because that nigga, I ain't gonna lie, he was low-key weird. You know what I'm saying? It was like, he just couldn't hang with me these days. Like, do any of you guys ever get those notifications on Snapchat? Or like, maybe like the Google, sometimes Google sends like a flash in the past type of like reminder. If you're signed into like Google, is it Google Cloud or something like that? You know what I mean? Every now and then you get like one of those little like notifications, and then it shows you like a picture from like 5-10 years ago, or even like the year before. And I'm like, bro, this is me? I don't even remember taking that picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be seeing those playbacks, and I'll be like, I'm either cringing at the fact that I took a picture that like nowadays I wouldn't even dare take, or I'm looking back in a manner of, yo, what the fuck was I thinking? No, wait. It's either I'm looking back at the picture in a manner, it's either I'm looking back at a picture and I'm thinking to myself, like, when the fuck was this even taken? Or I'm looking back and saying, what the fuck was wrong with me? Right? Like, I'm a completely different person now. And it's also weird that, now that I'm 25 and stuff, I'm no longer considered a kid, right? I think you can get away with that kid title from like 18 to like 22, 23. After that, bro, it's like, you're really teetering that line. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you're a young adult, but like, you're no longer given the same leash you were given at when you're like 18, like, for example, right? When you're 18, you're given a lot more leash to like fuck up. 21, 22, it's like, when you're in your early 20s, it's like, okay, he's still kind of figuring it out. You give him a pass. You let him figure this shit out, but you're still being held responsible for shit. You know what I mean? Anything past 23, bro, 23, 24, 25, I mean, I think it really all depends on who's doing the judging. So like, for example, now if a 50-year-old were doing the judging, they may be a lot more lenient than say somebody in their late to mid 30s. But needless to say, it's still a matter of, all right, bro, you're like mid 20s, you're 24, 25, like, bro, you shouldn't be making these type of mistakes. Like, you're not going to be given as much leash as an 18, 19, 20-year-old, right? So, and don't even get me started on the fucking late 20s, bro. Holy. Late 20s, 30s, bro, nobody's taking that bullshit from you, right? And I think that's what I'm really low-key scared of, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look, listen, I love my leashes, man. I've been taking advantage of them leashes since a young bull, all right? Since I was like 16, 17, I've been taking advantage of the leash. And I think a lot of youngins are taking advantage of leashes. A lot of youngins that are in maybe their teen years right now, they like to use the fact that, oh, I'm still a kid, I'm underage, I didn't know. I'm not buying that bullshit, bro. I've seen kids, but these kids are not stupid. When I was 16, 17, I was not stupid. I knew right from wrong, but you still had the kind of the cushion to say, oh, well, I'm underage, I don't know any better. You know what I mean? And people will kind of just give you that leash. As you get older, bro, forget about it. Forget about that shit, bro. Non-existent. Nobody's giving you that fucking leash, especially not a nigga like me. But yeah, man, it's just so strange, man, hitting this 25 shit, bro. Just so strange. Just so strange. I was playing basketball a few weeks ago, you know, just straight hooping. You know what I'm saying? Dunking on niggas, showing niggas, you know what I'm saying? I still got it type shit. And don't get me wrong, I'm still in pretty good physical shape, right? I'm probably in the best shape I've been in a while. Not like conditioning wise, but like strength wise. Like I look like a fucking, I ain't gonna lie, I look like a unit. You know what I'm saying? I'm about 6'1", 210, and it's mainly muscle, and I'm low key lean as well, right? So, I couldn't run a mile right now, but I can probably. I'm one of those people you look at, you probably wouldn't want to get in a fight with, right? Compared to when I was like a little younger, like maybe like 17 or so, you would say, hey, I'll take my chances with this nigga. You know what I mean? Because back then I was like, what? I was still the same height. I was still around 6'1", but I was a lot less in the weight. I was like 180, which is still pretty big, but it's not as big as like, you know, 200, 210. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling on right now. This is a new chapter in my life, man. You know, I'm trying to embrace it. But man, this shit is getting real, bro. This life shit is really getting real. And I'm low-key wondering what the point of all this is. You know what I mean? Because if you really think about it, we all kind of spawned out of nowhere, right? Nobody, like from my memory, I just remember being 4 years old and then everything after that. You know what I mean? Like being 3, 2, and 1, and for as far as age goes, I don't remember shit. You know what I mean? It's almost as if I was non-existent. It's almost as if my body was on autopilot up until the age of 4 years old, and all of a sudden I gained consciousness, right? So this is the question I really want to leave. For anybody who knows the answer to this, please let me know in the comments below. Where the hell was I prior to 4 years old? Because my body was still here technically, but consciously I wasn't here, right? Consciously I wasn't here. I was here in some regard. My subconscious was here processing and downloading information, I suppose. However, the real me, the conscious me that you hear speak right now, I was nowhere to be seen. Where the fuck was I? Where was I, bro? This is still an answer I'm yet to hear be answered, bro. This is still a question I've yet to hear anybody answer. Please, if anybody has the answer to this question, man, please let me know. I really don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. This life shit got me confused. But anyways, we still gonna rock, man. You know, I kind of like that it's a bit avant-garde, you know what I mean? It's still a bit vague and open, and, you know, it's up to us to really explore and see where we go with things. But at the same time, I would still like to be, you know, I would still like to be let in the loop a little bit as far as knowing what the hell this is all for. What the hell is this all for, bro? I don't know. I really don't know. Shout outs to 25, man. I'm actually excited to age. I was gonna say, you know, earlier, you know, I want to say, like, I started noticing, right, especially when I was like 24, a lot of young bulls started calling me Unc. And I don't know how I feel about that, really, right? Because I feel like I should be addressed, at least at this point, as big bro. I think big bros are appropriate. Anything past 30 to youngins, and when I say youngins, I mean like early 20s and below, sure, you can call me Unc. But as a person who's still in my 20s, bro, do not call me Unc, bro. I am big bro, okay? Anybody who calls me Unc, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna give you one warning after that, nigga, you're sussed. Wait, that didn't come out right. I'm gonna give you one warning after that, you know, you are subject to whatever the fuck that happens to happen to you at that point, okay? But anyways, yeah, man, shouts out to 25. Looking forward to 26. This shit is getting serious, bro. This shit is getting serious. I need to start getting shit in order because before you know it, you're 30. And what's crazy is I've been saying that since I was like 20 years old, bro. One day you blink, the next thing you know, you're 30. And this shit is happening right before my eyes. And 30 is going to be here before I know it, man. 30 is going to be here before I know it. But, you know, we going to grind, man. We going to see where this shit takes us, bro. Shout out to everybody who made it this far in the video. Make sure you leave a comment to answer my question. Where the hell was I prior to being 4 years old, bro? My conscious mind, where the hell was it? Outside of that, just leave a general comment to let me know you've made it this far. and I'll see y'all later.